is just going to be on rise and consolidation. So if you look at the graphic organizer, the mind map there, on this side, you have one, two, three main reasons as to what led to the rise of Hitler. And then in the textbook, they do talk about the actual process of how Hitler becomes chancellor. Then once that happens, right, once you have risen to power, you will consolidate. So consolidation, a bunch of things mentioned here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll be toggling between the mind map as well as the graphic organizer, and we'll see, sorry, the graphic organizer, which is the mind map, as well as the timeline. Okay, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so one of the words that students find most uncomfortable with this chapter is they don't quite understand what's the Weimar Republic. The Weimar Republic, in many ways, simply means the German elected government. Okay, it means the German government. If you want something more comfortable to be working on, it's just named Weimar because that's where they met to discuss about how Germany should be ruled after the Kaiser, the king, had stepped down, okay, and he subsequently fled to Luxembourg. Right? Why did they have to meet in Munich? So why couldn't they meet in Berlin or Munich, the more famous cities or places in Germany? Is really because at that point of time there were a lot of uprisings, a lot of instability. Right, the things that we learn about would be the Spartacist uprising and the Kapp push. Right, these are examples of why we say that Germany was really unstable at that point of time. Right, so now let's look at the graphic organizer focusing on weakness of the Weimar Republic. We have three here, and the first one is TOV and other threats. So it actually corresponds with, all right, 1919, Germany was forced to sign the TOV, and okay, you just need to know that it is a problem that the political party that we need to know that led the Weimar government was the SDP, okay, the Social Democratic Party, right? Right, otherwise known as SDP. Right, so they were the ones who represented Germany at the Treaty of Versailles, and they were the ones who were forced to sign the TOV. So they were not the ones who led Germany into war, but they were the ones who were picking up the pieces and trying to rebuild Germany after the war. And one of the things they had to do was to sign the TOV. Right? Why was it their responsibility? Because they were the largest party, they were the most popular party, and they had a lot of, they represented a lot of the German people. All right, so, but because the Weimar government signed the TOV, there was this impression that they were betrayed, or they betrayed the German army, that didn't really lose the war. Okay, this is a product of the fact that Germany was never invaded during World War One. Okay, they suffered greatly in the trenches in France. They suffered greatly because of the naval blockade. All right, but to the plain German person, they would not have known the complexities of the war, and they felt that the Weimar government did this in order to benefit themselves. Therefore, whatever pain Germans felt, humiliation from the TOV, they pin it on the Weimar government. Right, so that's one of the key weaknesses of the Weimar government. So that's done, and then political weaknesses. All right, one key aspect of the political weaknesses is here. One big aspect is the system of proportional representation. All right, needs to be a lot larger than that. All right, basically, it led to the formation of a lot of coalition governments. Okay, if you need to know more in depth, you have to look at the slides. Okay, another aspect that made it very weak is the Article 48, where in the event of an emergency, the president will rule by decree. Problem is, we later see this being quite exploited because the Weimar Constitution did not go into detail as to what constitutes an emergency, right? Yeah. So those were the political weaknesses of the Weimar government, along with having to deal with things like the Cup push, okay, that happened a year after the formation. So Cup push is an example of a political weakness. Basically, people, these were right wing, heavily influenced by militarist ideology. They wanted to overthrow the Weimar government. All right, so they were put down. All right, just to mention that around that time, the SA was also formed. So this would be the political weaknesses of the Weimar government. Right? Having to deal with people trying to overthrow you all the time makes it very hard for you to actually rebuild Germany. All right. So one, political weakness, and then the next one, economic challenges faced by the Weimar government. Of course, connected, all right, to the economic weakness would of course be the fact that they were burdened by the reparations. Okay, and in the second year, they were unable to pay the reparations, leading to the, okay, based on the timeline, 1923. Okay, I'm here at the timeline, the French invasion of the Ruhr. All right, basically, it's an action undertaken by France because they were upset that Germany didn't fulfill their reparations. Okay, so this was, okay. This led to some fights breaking out between the French and the Germans. Ultimately, the German workers left. French workers were brought in to work in the Ruhr, and then subsequently, the German government, the Weimar government, okay, this was their mistake. They thought that printing more money would help would help boost the economy. Unfortunately, it led to hyperinflation and a lot of great difficulty. So this was when the Weimar government was really unpopular. Okay, so this was a weakness. Okay, but you have to be very clear. If you look at my timeline, okay, which is why we have a timeline, this happened in 1923. It is not the same as the Great Depression, right? It's only 5-6 years, apart from one another. So you cannot put them together. They are not the same. Okay, and hyperinflation was in fact solved. Okay, it was solved by the Dawes Plan, where the American banker Dawes, cannot remember his first name, so I just call him Dawes, renegotiated and extended the reparations from 59 years to, I'm going to say 89 years. Still the same amount, but when you are able to spread out the payments, it becomes smaller and more manageable. And of course, the Dawes Plan also included American loans to the German economy, American investment into German businesses. So all this, all in all, it reinvigorated, or it brought the German economy back to life. You don't see this actually here in the graphic organizer. It's there in the timeline. It represents a period whereby, the Dawes Plan represents a period in which Germany actually experiences quite a resurgence, right? And this is also seen by, by the Locarno Treaty, where Germany went on to acknowledge that they will respect their borders with France and Belgium. Okay, this also allowed Germany to rejoin the League of Nations, or not rejoin, join the League of Nations. They were never there to begin with. Okay, so that's just a bit of a tangent. Now we look at point number 2, appeal of Hitler and the Nazi Party. Hitler becomes the leader of the Nazi Party. There's a bit of a story here, but it's not really crucial to understand this part. The party was started by Anton Drexler. Hitler was there to spy. Okay, he then discovered his oratorical skills, right? Yeah. Okay, so eventually he became the spokesperson and the leader of the Nazi Party, and they grew fast. All right. So some of the things they did, all right, in 1920, right, the formation of the SA, the brown shirts, all right, giving them that muscle, that power, right, to try this Munich Putsch, okay, an attempt to overthrow the Weimar government in Munich. Okay, they actually kidnapped the chief of police and all that. As some, yeah, they kidnapped him, but then he promised to be on Hitler's side, and then he, of course, when Hitler no longer held him at gunpoint, he just went back to the police, and then the police stopped the Nazi uprising. Okay, Hitler was thinking that people would actually join him in the streets. That did not happen. Right, but Hitler did use this as an opportunity. So this happened in 1923. Yeah. Okay, so Hitler tried to take power by force. He failed. Okay, he was given, he was sentenced to jail. He was given nationwide publicity. Right, people got to hear what he had to say. Uh, so it was an important moment for the Nazi Party. Right, and of course, the key learning point for Hitler was that he was going to then abandon using force, and he's going to try to use get himself elected into power. So here you have the next point: the Nazi Party was rebuilt. So things like introduction of propaganda, okay, the formation of the Schutzstaffel, all right, okay, the difference between the Schutzstaffel and the SA. The Schutzstaffel would be the Nazi bodyguards who were loyal to the Nazi Party, as opposed to the SA who were hired bodyguards. Okay, so the Schutzstaffel has that added layer of being overwhelmingly patriotic or overwhelmingly passionate about the Nazi ideology. Okay, so the SA and the SS was part of this rebuild. Hitler, shortly after that, also started the Hitler Youth, and their propaganda went into full swing. Having said that, right, there is a period of about 4-5 years where the Nazi Party took part in elections. They were about 3%. It even dropped down to about 1 point something percent, despite the fact there was the SA, the SS, the propaganda. People were not interested until this event happened, the Great Depression. Let's add a bit of color. Purple looks good. Yeah. Impact of the Great Depression. All right. Really, you see how the Dawes Plan connected the German economy to the American economy. One of the byproduct of that would mean that the moment the American economy collapsed, it dragged Germany down with it. All right, and then ultimately it led to extensive unemployment in Germany. So that's the Great Depression. All right, the textbook or the slides would have shown you what it's about. And what happened was the one key consequence was it represented the failure of democracy. I put one example here. Because of the difficulties, the coalition government that the SPD here was part of collapsed. So they were unable to pass any new laws. So because they were not able to pass any new laws and things were going crazy, okay, Hindenburg decides to decides to use the decree, okay, Article 48. He uses Article 48 right here, one of the political weaknesses, to then pass new laws, okay, to try and reduce government spending, to try and improve the welfare of the people, because there were so many unemployed Germans. Okay, and the fear that when the longer this goes on, the more Germans are unemployed, former supporters of the SDP will support the communists. Right? Communists experience a growth in their numbers, right? And this presented to be a threat. Okay, then you need to think about how this actually then contributed to the rise of Hitler. Essentially, Hitler was able to convert their fear of the communists into support for the Nazis, because the communists were a threat on the industrialists, factory owners. The communists were a threat to the farmers, right? Because back in Soviet Union, the Communist Party of Soviet Union actually confiscated all the land of the farmers. So the popularity of the communists actually was exploited or taken advantage of by the Nazi Party, by Hitler especially, who would use this in his speeches. Right? So he may be a great speaker and whatnot, but the audience needed to be there. He needed the right audience. The right audience would be those who have been devastated by the unemployment, right? Fearful of the rise of the communists. These are people who, in normal circumstances, would not have actually supported the Nazi Party, but decided to because of the circumstances of that time, right? So, which leads to this one, growth in support of the Nazi Party, where we see the example here, the largest party by June 1932. Despite that, the Nazi Party having the largest party, something about 37%, 38%, the chancellor position was not given to Hitler. The position of chancellor was the responsibility of President Hindenburg, who absolutely hated Hitler. All right, calls him a Bohemian corporal. Basically, Hindenburg was the war hero of World War One. Okay, he was, he's very old then. I would say 100 years old, but he's not younger. But I mean, in his 80s, I suppose. He disliked Hitler for one of many reasons. He prefers conservative leadership, right? He prefers people like von Papen. All right, von Papen is quite an important character if you see him in sources. Okay, so he appointed von Papen instead, a conservative man. Hitler gets angry. Causes, he disrupts the proceedings of the Reichstag, forcing another round of elections later in 1932, in November 1932. And again, Hindenburg doesn't appoint Hitler. He appoints von Schleicher, who is the chief of the German army. Right, so another conservative figure. Again, Hitler doesn't get appointed. However, as you can see here, 1933, Hitler does get appointed. This was because von Papen managed to convince Hindenburg that let's just give Hitler the position. One Hitler, von Papen can be vice chancellor, and he will tag team with Hindenburg to kind of like keep Hitler in control. Okay, so that marks the end of rise of Hitler. Okay, then we would look into the next bit, which is how he consolidated power, right? So consolidation is here. There's a couple of factors that I think the thickness needs to be a bit more. There we go. Not a lot of difference. All right, so we have a few things. All right, the Reichstag fire, whereby officially or based on the records, it was pinned. The blame was pinned on Van der Lubbe, a Dutch communist who actually doesn't really have a lot of allegiance to the Communist Party of Germany. But nonetheless, what we know for sure was that the communists of Germany were blamed. So the Reichstag fire decree was being issued. All right, so we are looking at this. We're looking at the timeline, whereby it gave the police emergency powers to actually arrest anyone suspected of being part of this communist conspiracy, okay, which very likely was not a real plan. Okay, but the burning of a national monument would of course cause people to panic. Right, so in that panic, okay, communists were arrested. Hitler calls for another round of elections, hoping to take advantage of the chaos, hoping to take advantage of the lost seats of the Communist Party to pass this thing called the Enabling Act. The Enabling Act would officially, legally, right, my sec force know the word now, transfer power into the office of the Chancellor. So the Chancellor could then just pass any new laws because this is a state of emergency. They cannot be dilly-dallying, trying to stop this threat of communism. Okay, even Hindenburg was fearful of this threat, right? So that's the Reichstag fire. Ooh, there should be this should be Enabling Act here. I didn't fix it from before. All right. Okay. Then after which you have the coordination where the Nazi Party introduced more control. All right. Basically extended control. Things like the one-party rule, basically eliminating or banning all other political parties. All right. Putting in a Nazi official in major cities, all right, overseeing the police administration. So Hitler was scheming in the sense that he knew where to put in his people. One of the first few positions, even before this, he put in the Minister of Interior. He put his own people in. Minister of Interior is like our Ministry of Home Affairs. You control the police, you kind of like have significant control. The next bit, all right, he was the Knight of the Long Knives. He went after the SA that was formed early on in 1920, whose party has grown by 1933, by 1933, 1934, grown to a very large number, to the point whereby it was, of course, going to be be seen as a threat. Right, the number or the figures roughly was between 2 to 3 million, much larger than the German army, and therein was the problem. Okay, the leader of the SA, a man called Ernst Röhm, all right, had his own ambitions. All right, he's a very interesting figure. He was there from 1920 next to Hitler. He still called Hitler Adolf by his first name, unlike the rest of the party who would have called him my Führer. So Hitler has been trying to get Rome to settle down and not be so violent, because as the SA, they were always causing fights and all that. And he has been talking about the need to overthrow the German army and put the SA as the new German army. All right. So this was a problem because Hitler needed the German army for his own designs over Eastern Europe. Right. So in one fell swoop, he eliminated the threat of the SA, a large party. He eliminated Ernst Röhm. And he also won over the German army, who was very pleased when the Night of the Long Knives happened, and it virtually eliminated the possibility of the SA replacing the German army. Right. Then finally, another thing that happened was that in August 1934, 2 months after that, Hindenburg dies of old age. All right, and by right there should have been an election, but Hitler, having immense power by then, says that forget it. All right, I will just combine the office of the chancellor and the presidency, and then to top it off, okay, because he has won the backing of the German army, he will also be commander-in-chief of the German army. All right, and therefore, 3-in-1, he calls himself the Führer, or the Führer. Okay, so yeah, this is just a very, I wouldn't say quick snapshot, but a snapshot in the end, right? You would probably need to go into detail on some of these things, especially if there are things that are not very clear. Like it's very one way when I'm just doing it in this manner. Okay, 21 minutes.